Okay, somebody had asked, they noticed that I wasn't using my Husky, and they asked what I was using. They thought it was a Johnson Red, and it's not. My 338, wear and tear issues, some parts being replaced on it right now. This is my backup topper, and so they wanted a review on it. They noticed that the bar was very small. It is only a 12-inch bar. It's an Efco MTT 360, and I got this in particular because, like my 338, the handle is large enough for a large hand. Doesn't rub my knuckles. It also has a larger box handle, so it's easier to hold sideways. It is a little, it's a 36cc saw. It is a little under grunty. It does cut nicely, it does run nicely, it's proven pretty reliable. I've run 4 gas tanks through it so far. After the 5th one, I'm going to do a disassemble and clean out the saw, in particular the air filter. We're going to see how dirty it got. I'm not going to go all AV on this and tell you about the plastics, because I don't know that. I'm going to talk about it strictly from a clinical usage standpoint, and we'll discuss the ins and outs of the overall design, weight, that sort of thing. So that's what's going on. I'm going to fuel it up. I got a dead top and an ash tree that's going to come out. We'll catch that on the GoPro, then we'll talk about the saw. Okay, we're going to run the battery out here and do a little cutting, and you can see exactly what we got. Alright, I got my friend Richard on the ground there. This is his house. Good man. Working harder than most 20 years old. Clear! Alright, this saw's been running, so it didn't need to be choked. One of the things I did find out about it is that if you don't run it for about a half an hour, you will need to choke it. Now, my Husky, which is not really a fair comparison, to be honest with you, it's a special saw, and it is a higher end saw. This is a good saw, but it's not that high end. My Husky, you start that thing up in the morning, and you don't have to choke it for the rest of the day, even if you let it sit an hour and a half or so. I'm low on battery, so I'm just going to bust through this with as little commentary as possible, and hopefully I'll be able to get the wood somewhere along the line here. And I am being super delicate with this, as you can see how rotten the end is. And I got a steel roof underneath me. This will go right through it. That's what I'm afraid of anyway. Yeah, maybe not. It's like cutting a sponge. This is an ash that's been hit by the emerald ash borer. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit concerned about crumblies. So I'm taking it real super mellow on the size of anything I cut. That's solid ash. That is one thing I do really like about this saw. It's got a momentary off switch and a really nice position for my big hands. So that is a big plus right here.
piece in particular is bothering me because it's out over the building. You can see it's all rotten. And you can really see my concerns if I haven't voiced them already. So we're going to take a couple of wrap and grabs. Grab and wrap, like so. This is a little tight. I don't know if I have the camera at the right angle to catch it. I guess I do. I hope it can. Oh, see that? Just breaking away. Not skook them. And working in here by my scabbard. I'm sure we're going to start the old scabbard debate about my scabbard being on the inside of the basket, but to each his own. I don't like dropping saws. I don't like knocking scabbards off on brush and dropping, you know, I don't like to have those silly accidents. Okay, getting into a little wood. Still a little hollow in there in the middle, a little soft. Not really a hollow as per se, but rotten center. Again, you can see how nice it is to have that placement of the momentary switch there. The other thing I like about the momentary switch is how it's shielded. So my Husky, the switch stands proud, and there's times when I hit it when I don't want to. This there we go. This has that switch tucked in there pretty nicely. Whew. Now you see all these holes. This is what I was worried about. So we're going to take this off. You can see the discoloration and the pith. I'm going to leave this alone. Yeah, we got an ant colony up here. So it's a legit concern. I'm going to start having to leave little stubblings to prevent any accidental breakage. So it's not going to work out exactly as I had planned, but it's going to work out. Just give everything a little bit of room and go delicate. Everything's going to leave a little bit of thumb on it. Which is not really how I like to do things. I am big on clean cuts all the way down. but the structure of a log you can compromise by removing certain bits, which we want to really avoid. And you can see how badly deteriorated this all is. This is hollow right here. This is rotten. So until we can get this top end off, nice and gentle like. There's going to be stubs. And I'll just have to be careful not to get hung up on. Yeah, as you can see. What the fuck? It's starting to get bees around us. I don't know where that's coming from, but I hope the fuck it's not this tray. they don't seem to be here anymore. Yeah, you know what?
So this is it. That is the Efco MT 3600. It's a saw that I bought as a backup topper. I usually use a Husky 338. And I didn't want to spend a ton of money, and I have a requirement for saws that it's big enough for my big hands. I'm a big guy, I weigh just around 300 pounds. And this is what my regular Husky guy had, where I wasn't spending a crazy amount of dough. And I like it. You saw all the running videos, we talk a lot about it. It's okay. It's not an amazing saw by any stretch of the words. It's a standard saw. It's great for a backup. It's got your standard wire clip for a saddle. It's a lot of plastic handle here, but I guess everything is these days, right? It's this handle being plastic is one of the things that always bothered me, especially it's an integral piece here. This is all attached to the fuel tank. You know, this is all just one giant piece all the way around. The handle to the fuel tank, and it meets up into the top here. And I'm looking at that now, and no, that does mate in there, but this is all one giant piece of plastic. Man, I'm not liking that. Oh no, it's not. This, all this gray coming down here and then the fuel tank is one piece of plastic. Okay, this separates here and here. So, anyway, just want to make sure I get this right. I am looking at the front of the fuel tank. That is not translucent. As I can see, you can't really see the fuel level. There might not be fuel in it. I'll have to check that another time. I ran 7 tanks of fuel through this. I have not done anything. I wanted to look and see how dirty the saw got. You got your standard oil caking. It's no different than any saw there. It doesn't drip oil. I mean, my Huskies right off the bat all, drip oil. And this does not. The anti-vibe is very nice on this, I gotta say. One thing I do not like about it is that if you don't run it for about 15 minutes, you need to choke it again. And then, a lot of guys can deal with that, but I'm used to saws that you start them in the morning, and even in the middle of the day, if you don't run them for an hour and a half, they fire right up. Power, snap, not a ton of power, enough power. This has a full chisel chain on it, micro or 3/8 LP. I guess it is micro, whatever. But it is full chisel. It locks up a lot. It doesn't have the power to draw it through a knot. You have to soften up on it. It's great for trimming brush off. If you have to handle a lot of things for chunking logs, it's okay. It's really not so good. Even with a 12-inch bar on it, it has a lot of trouble if you're cutting, making a cut, pulling into you. Like if you were climbing and you were box cutting and it's deeper than the bar, it doesn't clean the gullet. It doesn't have enough power. You got to keep pulling it out and cleaning the cut out of all your sawdust, because it doesn't have enough to throw it around and pull it out. So that's a drawback. And then the one last thing I wanted to do was take a look at how filthy the air filter got. Now mind you, this is quite a bit of cutting. Now I went through 7 tanks of fuel, and that's a lot of shit in that rear air filter there. That is a lot of material in the rear air filter. So it does, apparently it's going to need a lot of, cleaning. Even my 338 doesn't get that much in it. Wow, it probably does. But that's what came off of the filter right there. You can see that. I guess not so bad, but it does have a lot of material in there. You can feel it in the run. You can really feel it when it gets full. It manifests itself in a lot of draw down on the power. Overall, it's an okay saw. It's not a world champion. It's not a monster topper by any means. As far as for a backup, I like it. Price was right, and it runs okay. it fits my hand. It fits a big hand really nicely. That's really the big plus. Other than that, everything functions. And like I said, it's a lot of plastic. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Kind of gave you the once over, and you know, it's all in. You'll see it all in the running of the saw. And I tried to give you as much running footage on the GoPro as possible. You know, practical running footage. So that's that. An okay saw at a reasonable price. Makes for a good backup. It'll get you through your job. It's not really a saw you want to use as your primary, I don't think. And it's not something you're going to want to use every day in a tree if you're trying to get any kind of production. You're going to want to use something with a lot more snap, like my 338 or a T200 or whatever the 020 is now. I don't even keep up on them because my hand doesn't fit in the handle. It's sort of inconsequential to me. But you're going to want something with a little bit more go in it. But if it's, you know, every now and then you're doing some tree work, this is a great saw for that. And like I said, to keep in the truck as a reasonably priced backup, really can't go wrong. It's pretty good.